Hey, what's up? Michael Nicastro here. In this video, we're going to dive into part 3 of my 4-part mini-series and talk about some advanced service tips as it relates to a restaurant setting. Now, in order to implement these tips, you have to be able to read your guests and understand their needs, and you also need to be familiar and have a strong understanding of the establishment or restaurant that you're working in. A lot of these tips you can't really implement when you first start the job. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months into the job, you need more time. You need to understand the nuances and the subtle details behind where you're working. Also, what helps is to be passionate about what you're selling. You can't really sell anything that you're not passionate about. So without further ado, let's dive into the content. Welcome back to our Hospitality, Service, and Sales mini-series. We're going to dive into 6 advanced tips as it relates to service in a restaurant setting, starting with vibing, which means reading your guests and adapting your service style to that social environment, to that social context. So I have some examples pre-written here that I'm going to show you. These 3 examples: a business dinner, a first date, and an older couple. So for a business dinner, guests may want to order expensive bottles of wine. So as the server, I would have a couple recommendations already prepared in your back pocket. For a first date, guests may want to order on the lighter side. They don't want to eat a giant pork chop or a steak. And then they might want to be left alone, so keep that in mind. And an older couple, maybe tone down the speed of their meal. They want to take their time and enjoy themselves. Again, this is just a guide, but definitely be attentive and aware and flexible of your guests, because every guest is different. And number 2, off-menu items. These are not on the menu, but you know you can make them. For example, half glasses of wine, half glasses of beer. You have espresso, you have vanilla ice cream, maybe you can offer an affogato as well. Or let the guests know your favorite way to enjoy pizza. You like adding prosciutto and fresh arugula on top. That's not on the menu, but it's your favorite way to eat the pizza, and you have those ingredients. Okay? This makes the guests feel very special, and you're taking individualized care on their behalf. And number 3, phone a friend. You might not have all the answers, but someone on your team does. Hospitality is like a sports team. Everyone needs to work together to achieve the same goal. So let's say, for instance, your table, they love Italian wine. And you know on your team, Stacy's an Italian wine expert. Why not bring Stacy over to your table so she can share her passion of Italian wine with those guests? It's going to make all the difference. And number 4, high touch, soigné. So in the restaurant setting, we always just say to each other, make it soigné, or make it nice, make it special. So a couple ways to do that. Maybe as a closure to the guest's meal, you can offer them some fresh baked cookies. Or I used to work in an Italian restaurant, so sometimes we used to give them a complimentary glass of limoncello or amaro. Okay, these are just little subtle touches that really enhance the experience. All right, and number 5, downselling. So we talk about upselling all the time, but downselling is also important. If a guest orders too much, it's also not a good thing. They're gonna feel uncomfortable, they're gonna spend a lot of money, they're not gonna have a good experience. Let's say they wanna order the 28-ounce pork chop and the grilled steak. Kindly letting them know that it may be too much food is being on their side, and you're establishing major trust. And number 6, future options. So when a guest is ordering, drop hints as to what they can order later on in the meal. Now, this is a little bit hard, but say for instance they're ordering the grilled lamb chops, maybe recommending that special bottle of wine, that Barolo, will really complement those pork chops or those lamb chops nicely. Okay, so thinking of options, thinking of special items that will carry the guest throughout their entire meal. To conclude, don't make service complicated. Go out there and have a good time. There was a period where I worked at Union Square Hospitality Group as a server, and I had the highest check average for that quarter. Now, I didn't use any of these advanced tips or try to upsell the guests or try to manipulate the guests. I just tried to provide them with a great experience, with some great hospitality on their behalf. Also, it's important to note that hospitality is a team sport, so respect your back servers, respect your front servers. You could be the greatest server there is, but if you can't work with your team, you're not going to provide the best service that you can. So, that wraps up the video today. If you haven't already, tune into our last video on verbal language and stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be on a special topic. Thank you so much. Take care.